Hey guys, Dr. Ben here, Functional Medicine Centers. Welcome. Going to go over some things today as far as what you can do to help lose weight, why you may be gaining weight, especially during this COVID time, and some things that you can do today to start losing some weight, start losing some body fat, and make sure that you're breathing like you need to. Because right now, there is a lot of research coming out about carbon dioxide, about breath work, and how that affects your body fat and how that affects your weight. So stick with me here. We're going to get a little bit sciencey, but this is going to be really interesting for you. Teresa, great to see you. Go ahead and pop down below where you guys are watching from. Love to see people all over the country, all the way north, south, east, west, Philippines, all over the world. So welcome everybody. Good to see you. Okay, so what are we looking at? Well, we've known even since like the 2013, 14, 15 that research has been coming out showing that elevated carbon dioxide does multiple things to the body. There was a study, a Danish study, where they put men in two different rooms and adjusted the percentage of air chemicals. And so one group had higher carbon dioxide than the other group. And what they found was that people, the guys that were in that room with higher carbon dioxide levels, they ate 6% more food on average than the group that had the normal oxygen levels, carbon dioxide, all of those things. So we know based off that study and a lot of other research coming out is that if we are getting too much carbon dioxide into the bloodstream, the bloodstream is going to turn more acidic, and there's a hormone that's released from the body, and it triggers this increase in appetite. And there's probably some survival mechanism or some reason why that happens. Hey, Paula, good to see you. Probably some kind of reason why that is happening, but we know that if that carbon dioxide is going higher, some of the studies, if you look this up, they were even saying that as carbon dioxide levels go up in the earth, that's why obesity is going up. And I don't know if we're going up that dramatically, and that's why we're seeing increased obesity. But maybe it's an interesting theory. But carbon dioxide, there's a great book called Breathe out there, and it talks all about these different things. Hey, Alan, good to see you. It talks about the oxygen levels and carbon dioxide levels, and that when you're breaking down fat, so if you're exercising, if you're working out, if you're doing things, and your body is breaking down fat, actually the lungs are the #1 excretory organ for the byproducts of fat metabolism. So what does that mean? Well, as you're breaking down fat, it gets excreted, it gets kicked out through your lungs, through your breath. So you've got to be breathing well, you've got to be having oxygen coming in, you've got to be having carbon dioxide go out. Hey Keith, good to see you, buddy. So you've got to be having that oxygen in, CO2 out on a regular basis. And so here's the problem, and one of the things that came out probably in the May, June range was a lot of these Facebook posts and memes and things that, you're gonna build up carbon dioxide and you're gonna die, and kids were like passing out in school and all these things. And I don't really think that's the case. I don't think it's getting to this toxic level, and that's what most of the reports are going to be saying. Hey Melissa, good to see you. And so it's not this toxic level that we're talking about, that people were worried about, that kids are going to be dying in gym class and all of those things. So it's not to that toxic level. But the American Lung Association, I checked their website, I checked some other places, and a lot of places said that yes, you can build up a little bit more carbon dioxide by wearing a mask all day long, especially the thicker masks, the N95s, things like that. So what can you do? So if you're one of the people that works in a setting where you have to wear a mask all day long, there's a few things that you can do for that. Because here's the big concern is that you're not going to be getting hey, Carlene, good to see you. You're not going to be getting that carbon dioxide out. You're not going to be getting your oxygen in as well either. I find when I'm wearing a mask, taking deeper breaths because I'm explaining stuff with patients and having to go through the deep breathing process. So here's what you need to do to make sure you're getting that carbon dioxide out, make sure you're getting enough oxygen. You need to be taking breaks on a regular basis. Take off the mask, get some fresh air. If you can step outside, that's even going to be better. But two things that you want to focus on. We've talked about some of the breath work, and so you want to breathe in and do some nice deep breath in, but out is just as important as breathing in. And otherwise, that carbon dioxide builds up, starts making the blood a little bit more acidic, and then you get more cravings. You're not going to excrete fat as easily. And there's a lot of research showing that if someone is not breathing well, doing deep breathing like they need to, they are going to gain more fat, gain more body fat. So the deep breathing, especially the out, but really doing some extreme breath through there and really pushing out that carbon dioxide. An interesting thing, if any of you wear a heart rate monitor with exercise and you're on the treadmill and you see your heart rate going up, and I've done this many times where if my heart rate, I'll be running and it'll get up start getting into the 150s. I like to keep it in the 140s, and it starts getting 148, 149, 150. I will focus on some really intense exhalation. And do maybe 3, 4, 5 of those. A lot of cyclists do this as well. And if you're watching your heart rate, you'll see it drop a good 5, 6, 7, 8 points within a matter of 15 to 30 seconds. So just by getting that carbon dioxide out, your heart rate's going to come down as well. So people maybe have an elevated heart rate by rebreathing and having extra carbon dioxide in their inhalation when they go through. So what do you need to do? You need to take those breaks. You need to make sure that at least a couple times an hour you're taking a few minutes going and doing some deep breathing. The simple one is 5 seconds in, 5 seconds out. Hey Kayla, good to see you. So 5 seconds in, 5 seconds out. And really on that exhalation, you're really trying to make it forceful through there and get that out of the body. So that's going to be really important. If you don't have to wear a mask, so if you're in your car or places like that, don't unless you're severely recommended by your doctor or ill or something like that. But being in your car by yourself or some different places, or if you're on a hike out in the woods, that is a great time to work on that breath work and breathe out and breathe in. If you're worried, you can always pull that mask up if you see somebody, but if you're out and about and not around people within that 6 feet, by all means, make sure that you're breathing out, especially if you're a little bit overweight, especially if you have gained weight. I don't know if you want to do a thumbs up or thumbs down, but has anybody put on weight through this whole pandemic, through this whole lockdown time? A lot of people have. We've seen that COVID-15 and all these different weights that people jump up, and a big part of that can be because of that carbon dioxide buildup. People are craving more, but also people are not breathing deeply. There's some thumbs up, unfortunately. We do have some people put some weight on, but the other thing, when people are stressed, when they're nervous, when they're worried about their job or about just going out in public and being around people and all these things, they will breathe shallow and won't get that in. Linda, my son has asthma and has gone to the ER twice because of the mask. Yeah, and so especially if somebody has lung issues, you definitely need to talk to your doctor about it and get some recommendations, or even wear a thinner mask that's more of a mesh mask as opposed to a thicker one. So the deep breathing is going to be really, really important for a lot of this. It's going to help with weight loss. There's a great book, it's called Breathe out there, and it talks a lot about the scientific reason why we're exhaling out the fat as we break it down, versus if you're not exhaling enough, you're not going to break down those chemicals and they're actually going to stay in the body and build up again. So if you are having to wear a mask all day, make sure that you're taking the breathing breaks. Make sure at least a couple times an hour. Focus on the exhalation, not just getting oxygen in, but getting that carbon dioxide out is just as important. You're probably not going to get toxic from it, but the research is showing you may be gaining weight. So keep your eyes on that. Breathe strong, breathe deep, breathe out, all those things. Keep the body vibrant, and do everything you can to be as healthy as possible to get through whatever is coming at you next. So make it a great day, and we'll talk to you guys soon.